Okay, in the whole of this series, we are trying to go about seeing how we can really translate a file and especially handle documents as freelance translators or as, let's say, full globe translators. Meaning that this series will be divided in many parts, and this is just the introductory part. And really, translation can really be rewarding, but at the same time also is something that can really be challenging. Why do we say it can be challenging? Because when we begin as freelance translators or as a full-grown translator, maybe we want to work for an agency, a company, or even for a government agency, there are a lot of challenges that we need to really have in mind, that we need to go about trying to see how we can really counteract them. For example, it's not always easy to build a portfolio because especially if somebody is beginning in this field, you need to know how to go about building a portfolio and also how we can really find clients, especially when we are beginners. And even if we have been doing it for some time, but not the right way, getting customers so that we can be able to work, be it as a freelance or maybe get a company where we can be employed as a translator, proofreader, reviewer, can be somehow challenges. There are challenges along the way. There are difficulties that we are going to face. And in the course of this series, these different trainings we are going to talk about, we are going to see practically how we can go about this. Also, another challenge that we may face when we are trying to go about as a freelance translator or as a full-blown translator is which agency do we choose to register? Because there are so many agencies. Now, which one will be the best where we can register and have more opportunities to get customers? There are so many outside there. You have popular ones like Fiverr, you have Upwork, you have Pros, Translation Directory, and many others. In the course of this, our training, we are going to see which one, in my own humble opinion, are the best, especially for a beginner or somebody who is still struggling in the translation industry to start with, so that you can build some clientele and then quickly have customers. Another issue also that we can face can be how to master CAT tools, because we know to succeed as a translator, we will not be carrying a dictionary as we were doing in the past. We need to use modern ways of going about translating files. It means we need to be able to master CAT tools and to be able to use them properly and efficiently. And there are so many outside there. We are going to touch some of them, and especially the most popular ones. For example, we have SDL Trados. We will see how we can use it from beginning till end in detail, how we can use it to translate an editable file and even a file that is scanned but that is not hard scanned. We also touch another one that is really popular this time, that is SmartCat. And then as we are going to proceed, also another challenge and difficulty that many are facing today in the translation industry is that with new technologies, many companies now are most often using what we call MTTE, that is machine translation post editing. They usually already translate documents, maybe using a CAT tool like Trados, and then they will now send to a translator. How do you go about handling this type of files? Now, if a company is still maybe sending you files that you have to translate from scratch, how do you go about using these CAT tools to do that? Now, what about the issue now we are facing with AI technology? Because many companies are already integrating AI technology in their work. And even many companies that are bringing about these CAT tools, they are trying to integrate AI so that they can streamline their work. How do we try to go about these new strategies that are really making it difficult for some to be able to catch up with this advancement in technology. In the course of this series, we are going to go through that. Another challenge also that we are going to handle during this our series of training is that when you try to start working as a freelance translator, or if you would like to work for a company, that one may be easier. But as a freelance translator, if that is what you really want to do, it is true there are many advantages, is that you are somehow independent, but you need a lot of self-discipline to be able to succeed in this field. How do you go about really handling this issue of being self-disciplined? In the course of this training too, we are going to see how we can go about handling this issue. Another thing also that we are going to touch that is really making it difficult for some to cope is that sometimes you are going to receive an editable file. There is no issue with that. To translate that, there will be no problem. But now what about if you receive now a scanned document? And sometimes even we are talking here about hard scanned documents. Really, we are going to see, and I will even show you some softwares that can be used to convert these documents so that they can be editable and translated, if at all that is possible. I mean that these are just some few challenges that really many are really going through as they really enter this industry, or some are already there and they are still struggling. I really understand that it's not easy. But why? Because I myself, I really went through all these steps. When I began as a freelance translator, it was not easy. A lot of challenges. But over more than 10 years of experience, I really tried to really study different techniques and methods to go about through these challenges. And I'm more than happy to share them with you if you are really going through these challenges. Be it as a beginner, you are a complete beginner in this industry, or you really started, but you are still struggling. In the course of this series, I am going to really break down things for you so that from A to Z, you can really be trained to go about being a full-grown freelance translator. In case you're not like freelancing, maybe you work for an agency, government, NGO, or whatsoever, there is no issue still, because this training still is going to cover that to help you be equipped from beginning to end, how you can really be able to succeed in this field. And to be able to really break things down, I've tried to summarize most of this in a very simple guide. And that guide is going to lay down the different steps that we are going to cover throughout this training. And as you just go down, you just click on the link just under this video, you'll be able to get that guide for free. You just click on the link and get the guide, and you'll be able to see the different steps that we'll go through as you move about with this training. And as I said, this is just the beginning, because there are many series that we follow after this, so that we try to break down this industry, that is the translation field, so that even as we said, you are somebody that is just beginning or just struggling inside the field, you'll be able to really see how you can really be equipped to really cope in this industry. Yes, really, if you really try to go down and get that guide, please, it's going to be of help to you. Please try to get it. Free guide is going to help you. And also, I will really be more than happy if you can leave any comment below of any issue you may be struggling with. I'll be more than happy to look at them to be able to see how I can try to include them in the topics, to try to see how we can go about together bringing solution to this. And also, don't forget also to click the like button so as to show your appreciation for this free content. That will really help, so that anybody who is struggling with this field, translation, be it as a freelancer or as a full-grown translation, can really be able to get his own solution here to really be independent, because I think that is the best thing ever, to be able to work on your own terms, your own conditions, not to be able to really continue to always be facing the difficulties you have been going through. As we go through this, we are going to see together how this can really be handled. Now, once again, just encourage you to click on the link just below to get the free guide, so that you can already be able to preview what we are going to cover in depth in the course of this our series, so that once again, as I said, even if you are just a beginner, you can be able to really, at the end of this training, be somebody who is independent as a freelance translator. If you would like to work for an agency, government, there is still no issue with that. You'll be able to be equipped so that once you are recruited somewhere, you can be able to really go about handling anything that has to do with the translation field. Please click on the link and get the link. It's free. It is going to really help you to be able to already have in mind what we are going to talk about in the course of this series. And just after this, we will just enter directly into the heart of this matter. And you just try to click on this link below and this link beside the video to be able to get the next video, because there right away I'm going to start with how do we go about using CAD tools. And the first one we are going to touch will be SDL Trados, which is by far the most popular CAD tool. It will really be difficult for you as a translator to go without mastering SDL Trados. I'm going to break down SDL Trados so that you can be able to use it from A to Z. Please just try to get it so that you can already have an idea how to go about using SDL Trados. Once again, I'm very grateful and thank you. You really took your time to follow this introductory video. And once again, just as a reminder, please get the link so that you can really already be previewing what we are going to go through in the course of this, our training. Thank you. And just try to get the next video so that you start already this process to go deep, first of all, with the first CAD tool, SDL Trados. Once again, thank you.